Hey guys, before I start today's video, I just want to take a second to say thank you to all of you who support the channel, all of you who watch the videos, all of you who comment in the comment section, all of you who share the videos. I just want you to know that I really appreciate the support, and just know that I look forward to bringing you guys content on the regular. And when I say content, I want to bring you guys good content. I want to bring you guys stuff that you can use on your own projects or in your own workplace. Whether you're a DIY person or whether you do this professionally, I just want my videos to serve as an extra tool for you guys to have, and I just hope to make a difference in this industry. So anyways, I just wanted to say that before we start the video. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? It's Eric with Advanced Level Automotive. I'm sitting in a 2011 Kia Forte. It's a coupe edition, and problem with this vehicle is that the turn signals do not work. So let me show you real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the turn signal to the right. Nothing's happening, it's not even flashing. Turn it to the left. Nothing's happening there. Everything else, every other function on the switch is working, except the turn signals are not working. So I think first things first, let's go ahead and pull up a wiring diagram and go from there. All right guys, so we're over here at the computer. I've got the wiring diagram pulled up. The circuit may look a little intimidating, but it's actually a pretty simple setup. If you look at the basic components involved over here, down here we have the turn signal switch, which is a pretty simple switch, either clicks left or right. If you look over here, we have this flasher unit. It's got a coil internal to the flasher unit. And if you follow this up, we have the hazard switch right here. This is the button, the hazard switch that's inside the vehicle to turn the hazard lights on. And if you follow this up, we have this 10 amp fuse right here. This is a turn signal lamp fuse. It's a 10 amp fuse. And the way this system works is that this 10 amp fuse is going to provide power, and this power goes through the hazard switch. If you look in the normally off position, because normally you won't have the hazard lights on unless you are stuck on the side of the road, you engage that button and then you allow the hazard light relay to take over. But since what we're worried about is in the normal position where this is off, and we're not using the hazard lights, the power is simply going to go from this fuse through the hazard switch, and it's going to go to the flasher unit. Now this flasher unit has these 3 main wires. Well, it's actually 4 because this one is spliced into 2, but we'll get to that in a second. So we have the power input to the flasher unit right here, and as you can see, that power splices over to the switch that's inside of the flasher unit. If you look over here, we have a ground for the flasher unit. And then what's really important is we have a coil control right here. Now this coil control, what it does is it's going to send a small voltage out on this end right here, and it's going to go to the multifunction switch, to the turn signal switch. Again, in the normally open position, there is no power coming from the fuse going through here. The power stops when the switch is open. The way this switch closes is the power that's being sent out through the coil control goes to the turn signal switch, and whenever you turn the turn signal switch, let's say to the right, what you're going to do is you're going to ground this circuit, and that ground is going to be a ground through the light bulb. So this right here is the light bulb in the instrument panel for the right turn signal, and then if you look, you'll see this B and A. These 2 arrows point to the next diagram, which goes to all of the turn signal lamps to the rest of the vehicle. So if I show you that diagram, it basically looks like this right here. This is the A and B junction, and it's going to go to the rear combination lamp. All of these, the headlamp, these are basically all of the turn signal lamps, and those are all providing grounds on the other end of the lamp. So that's what's going to control the coil on the flasher unit. So again, going back to the flasher unit, the coil control is going to send a small voltage out. It's going to go to the turn signal switch. You're going to close this turn signal switch, which provides a ground for that coil control. That energizes the coil that's inside of the flasher unit, which closes this switch. When this switch is closed, the power from the fuse that goes through the hazard switch is going to go through the turn signal switch and out to the light bulbs. And the job of this flasher unit is to flicker this switch on and off so that you have the effect of lights flashing. So that's basically how the system works. First things first, what we're going to need to check is the fuse, because that's probably the easiest thing to do. So let's go ahead and locate this fuse. It says it's in the junction box inside the vehicle. So let's go ahead and find that fuse. All right, so here we are on the driver's side of the vehicle. I've already located the fuse box. Looking at the lid right here, you'll see that This 10 amp turn signal lamp fuse is the second one down right here. So let's go ahead and use the power probe, check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and touch each side of the fuse. Looks like we have a ground there. Let me turn the ignition on. Alright, the ignition is on. Let's go ahead and check that fuse. So we got power on one side. Let's check the other side. We got power on the other side. Alright, so let's go back to the diagram. Alright guys, so now we know that this fuse is good. I think the next thing I want to do is I want to go to this flasher unit, only because it's pretty easy to get to, and we can do some quick checks. First thing we're going to want to do is locate this green wire. This is going to be the power feed to the flasher unit. And we're also going to want to check this black wire, which is going to be the ground for the flasher unit. And then we're going to want to check this brown and orange wire to make sure that we have output on there. So let's go ahead and get down to this flasher unit and do some voltage checks. All right guys, so I believe I've located the flasher unit. As you can see, I've already removed the lower kick panel right here to gain easy access. So we're going to get up underneath the dash. And if you look straight up here, you'll see this 4-wire connector here. Up at the top we have the flasher unit, and as you can see we have our green wire, our blue wire, our brown wire, and the black wire. So let's go ahead and use the power probe and let's check these. Alright, so as you can see I got the power probe right here. We're going to go ahead and check the black wire first. That is our ground. As you can see we have a good ground on that wire. Let's go ahead and check the green wire, which is our power feed. And already you can see that we're missing a power feed on this wire here. Let's check the blue wire and the brown wire, which is the output. Nothing there. Let's go ahead and turn the turn signal switch. I'm just going to turn the turn signal switch. Let's go ahead and touch that wire. Back on that wire. So definitely our problem here is that we don't have power getting to this flasher unit. Alright guys, so it's pretty evident that we're missing a power feed on this green wire at the flasher unit. We did check the ground was good, and we checked the output over here, and whenever we turned that turn signal switch on, we saw a ground on this wire. So we know that the turn signal switch is good. Also, the other thing is that the coil control, the reason we didn't see the voltage coming out from the coil control is because that voltage is also supplied from this green wire over here. So I think the next thing we're going to want to do is locate the hazard switch, and we're going to want to check for the input on this red and orange wire, pin 5, make sure we have power there, and then we're going to want to check the output on this green wire at pin 8. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, guys, so we are back inside the vehicle. The hazard switch is located right here on the center of the dash. I've already gone ahead and pulled out the panel here so we can gain access to the plug on the back side. But one thing that I did notice is that the hazards themselves, if you push the switch, actually work. So, well, they did for a second, but now, there we go. So it looks like that part of the switch is not working. Let's go ahead and back probe the wires on the back side over here. All right, so if you recall, according to the wiring diagram, this red and orange wire is going to be the feed that comes from the fuse to the hazard switch. Let's go ahead and back probe this pin. Now we're just going to go ahead and use the power probe, touch the pin, and see if we have power. As you can see, we do have power at that pin. Let's go ahead and switch over to the green wire, which is the output from the switch. Let me get my back probe in there. All right, so we are back probed on the green wire. Let's go ahead and use the power probe, see if we have power there. As you can see, we have nothing there. Let me go ahead and hit the switch and see if that changes. As you can see, with the switch engaged, we are showing a flashing power. Okay, so with the hazard switch on, we are getting a power output for the hazard flashers on this green wire, but we are not getting the output when the switch is off for the flasher for the turn signal. So one quick check I want to try to do is we're going to use the power probe to supply a 12-volt feed onto the green wire, which will supply power to the flasher unit, and as long as everything is working, we should have turn signal lights. So let me go ahead and stick this in there and we'll give it power. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the turn signal switch. As you can see, turn signal to the left is flashing. Let me turn it to the right. As you can see, the turn signal for the right is flashing. We now have sufficient evidence that proves that the problem is inside of this hazard switch. We're going to go ahead and get one on order, replace it, and see what happens. All right, guys, so we got the new part from Kia. If you look on the box, this is the part number right here. Let's go ahead and install it, see what happens. All right, guys, so we got the new hazard switch installed. It's pretty simple to do. There's only 3 screws on the back side of this panel here. Now that we have that installed, I'm going to go ahead and show you the turn signals are now working. Let's go hit the right turn signal. As you can see, it's blinking. The left turn signal is blinking. We hit the hazard switch. Our hazard lights are working. So that's a fix. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that this video was informational. And if I was able to help you in any way, please hit the like button. If you enjoyed the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, you can always comment down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.